Hi there, everybody. This is Lee, and I'm reporting from McQueen Press headquarters. Lots of news coming out of the Green Party. I'm trying my best to keep up, and so I definitely wanted to get the news out today from the Stein headquarters. This is Mark Urgent. It's about the 2016 debates and the protest alert. Jill Stein says she was not invited to participate in the upcoming presidential debates. That's not going to stop her from participating this Monday, September 26th, at Hofstra University in New York, Long Island. She is going to occupy the debates. She's sending in busloads of demonstrators to make sure the national media knows that the Stein Baraka revolutionary message and common sense platform will not be stopped. Jill Stein will be with her supporters, Green Party members, and other activists, dealing with the climate crisis, canceling student debt, providing 20 million good jobs through the Green New Deal, ending police violence, and more. She wants to make sure that these issues are seen and heard by national media outside the debate. So it seems like a similar protest to what happened and occurred at the RNC and the DNC will also take place at Hofstra University. She will not be allowed to speak, but she will be heard. She will make sure of that. She will be protesting peacefully, and particularly on the issue of murder by cop of African Americans. And she wants to make sure that the Green Party message of peace and nonviolence prevail. So this will be civil disobedience. Nonviolent civil disobedience is a powerful tool, she said, that has been used for decades to speak out and stand up for what people believe in. She said that there's no guarantees. She knows this because she and her running mate were arrested in 2012 outside Hofstra University. She says that the plan this year for 2016 is to escort Jill Stein to the entrance of the debate and demand that she be allowed to debate. If that is not successful, then the second plan is for Jill Stein to, from a nearby location, to conduct a live stream of her answers to the same questions being asked of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So she will be participating in the debate at a satellite location nearby via live stream. So she's going to participate that way. She's going to use the people's airwaves. Some people may have formerly called it pirate radio. These days it's called social media. And there's so many different channels and venues on social media to get this type of message out. So voters will be able to hear Jill Stein's greater good alternatives to the two evils being offered by the Democrats and Republicans. And so she's asking for financial support to be sent to the Green Party. And this is because she wants to pay for the buses for the supporters, the activists, the people who will be demonstrating and conducting the civil disobedience. This is going to be for organizing, phones, social media, staff, things like that. And she's saying that, to be honest, she may have to put together a legal defense fund in case there needs to be bail posted for protesters. And so she does expect that Hofstra will be guarded like a war zone, and that if there's any thought that the protesters get out of hand, even a tiny bit, she says that we can expect that we all know what will happen. But she's saying that the Green Party message will be heard Monday night, September 26th, at Hofstra University in New York. The similar way to how the Green message was heard outside the RNC in Cleveland, outside the DNC in Philadelphia. She was heard and she was seen. And so Jill Stein says it's in our hands. And she's expecting that the media coverage will be intense of her live stream, of her attempt to gain entry, and then her live stream. She's expecting intense media coverage because she and Ajamu Baraka, as I've reported, have been getting a lot of media access. They've been working really hard in the New York area and in New England to get the word out about the Green Party message. She was in a recent political article. She was already filmed the Fox Business News Town Hall, which will air tonight, which is September 23rd. And this is with John Stossel. She also had an interview with Al Jazeera, Fusion TV, Jorge Ramos. And then I also saw her on Univision, too. So they've been actively getting the message out and getting media access. And apparently the Daily Show has asked for an appearance. And I'm actually hoping that Jill Stein will actually join Gary Johnson, Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump and be shown the same courtesy by The View that all three other presidential candidates have been shown by The View, and be invited for equal time to speak as a woman and as a presidential nominee on the Green Party platform. Okay, and so that's the debate. There's also another effort by the Green Party. They're working on a get out the vote effort in 5 key southern states. These are red states. Jill Stein wants the red states too. She wants every state. She's running a 50-state strategy. She's focusing this message on 5 specific states in the South that are solid red for the most part, although one is kind of purple. She wants to make the Green Party ideas and voices heard, and she wants to build the party for every election to follow. And that means ballot retention. She wants to make sure that green remains on the ballot past this election, because we have midterms and then we have the presidential contest again in 2020. So there's an effort to retain green on the ballot for midterms, which is 2018, and then 2020. I spoke of the midterm effort in a previous video. It's just around the corner. It comes faster than you think it does. And so the ballot access laws at the state level are sometimes harsh and pretty prohibitive. And so that's why it takes so much effort to retain ballot access. Green is on the ballot in 45 states, according to this email. And, well, Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka are on 45 states and certified as write-ins and 3 more. This is more ballots than the Green Party members have been on ever. And so even in spite of this, this year they spent $580,000 on ballot access for this year. They want to avoid that exorbitant amount of money for the next go-round, and a way to do that is to avoid losing ballot access. How wonderful it would be for them to start the next campaign either at midterm or for the next presidential campaign to start maybe at 40 state ballots, maybe even 35. But how about starting at 40 state ballots and just working to get access in maybe 10 or 11, if you count, DC and things like that. So if they can retain ballot access, that means less money to spend, and they can build a stronger party and stop reinventing the wheel each go-round. So Jill and Ajamu Baraka have to get at least 1 to 2% of the total vote in states such as Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Virginia. So I'm counting 4 states. Let me count them again. Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Virginia. I missed Missouri, I think. So that's a 5-state strategy. They want to maintain ballot access in these states. And so that means Green Party members, Green Party supporters, the electorate, the general voting electorate, if they want to see green on the ballot, they must vote green this election. Cannot deal the vote away, cannot give the vote away, cannot stay home. You come out and vote green, 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 green as much as possible. So they have a get out the vote effort in these 5 states, and it's already started and includes state and regional coordinators, volunteers. They're making phone calls. They're doing social media, door knocking. They're distributing literature and bumper stickers and yard signs. And it's not cheap. They budgeted $60,000 in get out the vote activities for Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Virginia. So $60,000 now in get out the vote efforts. That means there will be less money to have to pay out for ballot access. So pay now or pay later. They want to pay a smaller amount now to retain ballot access in Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, Virginia, rather than having to pay for petitioners the next go around. So they're soliciting money for this effort too as well, for a great turnout, voter turnout in these 5 states. They want as many green votes in these red states as possible. They're saying that it's possible to flip the states green, but definitely they still want to accumulate as much green votes as possible in these red states, and then even the purple state, which is Virginia. Barack Obama was, I think he was able to flip Virginia or come close. I don't remember, but it's possible that Virginia will swing. We don't know which direction. It might swing blue, might swing red, might swing green. But even in states such as Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, I guess I lose track. Was it Tennessee? Let me look again. Georgia, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, and Virginia. They want as much green voting as possible in these red states. Okay, and so let's see. They're seeing the next part of this is actually a focus on down ballot green candidates. So lots of news coming out, so I'm trying to cover it all. They want to raise money for down ballot greens, and they're talking about greens in Missouri specifically. There were 2 parties that decided to cooperate with each other and get ballot access for the Green Party and for Jill. But she wants to support local candidates as well. They want to raise money for them. Specifically, Joshua Harris. He's running for mayor of Baltimore, Maryland. Jill Stein has conducted a lot of events with Joshua Harris. He spoke at the Green Party National Convention. He drew a sizable amount of applause and had a standing ovation for the words that he spoke at the Green Party National Convention. He's running for mayor. He's on the ground in Baltimore, very much a leader and a visionary, advocating on the part of the community. So he's from there. He's in Southwest Baltimore in the Hollands Market community. He's very much dedicated to the Green New Deal. I've heard him speak on that. And he's been a focus of a lot of campaigning this year. So they're raising money for him. Ashley Flash Gordon, that's her nickname, Flash. She's running for county commissioner in the state of Texas. Speaking of red states, Ashley Flash Gordon wants to be county commissioner in Texas. She's in Travis County, which is Austin, progressive. She's concerned about growth and development in that area of the Texas. So she's saying that she wants to make sure everyone has a voice and that the overall community is stronger when they progress together. So she definitely wants to represent Texas at the state and local level. Keola Pisciota is running for State House in Hawaii. Green is on the ballot in Hawaii. And she's in State House District 3. And she's concerned about putting people over profits. And she's thinking that a change in leadership in the legislature will remove obstacles from the state that they've sought to achieve. Primarily increasing Hawaii's food and energy security. All the while supporting the status of native Hawaiians in that state. Margaret Flowers is running for U.S. Senate in Maryland. She's on the ground as part of the Green Party with Joshua Harris. She has been a lead organizer in a campaign to stop the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, and she's been doing that for the past 5 years. And when you think about it, it's interesting that Margaret Flowers, who's running for the U.S. Senate, she's trying to run for Barbara Mikulski's seat since she retired. But this is the same state where Elijah Cummings, a House member, actually voted down Bernie Sanders when Bernie Sanders tried to insert language opposing the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So just different things going on in Maryland. Margaret's saying that the TPP would outsource jobs and lower wages and threaten health. She's also done campaigns to clean up the mines. She's organized the Baltimore Economic Democracy Conference in 2014. And so she's also concerned about racial justice and peace too. Very active in the community, running for U.S. Senate in Baltimore, in Maryland. Rodolfo Munoz is running for Supreme Court in Texas. And I believe he's Native American. I went to the Green Party National Convention and heard him speak, and I think he mentioned that. He's saying that there needs to be indigenous wisdom in the Texas courts, and I could not agree more. We need that right about now. We've got people who are trying to bring about equality, regardless of ethnic and cultural status, equality in the criminal justice system, and social justice and economic justice. He wants to do his best to disclose the truth about what is happening to Native Americans and Indian people within the state of Texas and within North America as well. Joe DeMar, I've spoken on him so many times on my channel. He's running for U.S. Senate in Ohio. He's running a great campaign up there. He's getting visibility. He's getting support. He's getting poll numbers. He's an environmentalist, and he's horrified by the ecological damage being done by fossil fuels and nuclear power and fracking, offshore drilling, leaky and cracked nuclear plants, pipelines, injection wells, and oil spills. He thinks that it needs to be shut down. He would, like many of us, would prefer to see a trend towards renewable energy and the Green New Deal. I've seen a lot of controversy about environmentalists being turned against, or an attempt to turn labor movement against environmentalists and against indigenous populations. And that's a classic oligarchical move to divide and conquer. Guess what? The Green New Deal renders all of that obsolete. Green New Deal brings jobs. Green New Deal brings energy. Green New Deal stimulates the economy. So that's the solution to that problem. That's how you fight that kind of divisive maneuver. That's been used ever since the cotton planters tried to turn black people against poor white farmers in order to maintain control that way. It's a classic move. And so Joe DeMar is agreeing. He's definitely seeing that sustainable future is achieved via the political process, but not falling for the corporate and money traps. And he's not accepting campaign contributions from corporations or corporate PACs. Gary Stewart is running for U.S. House of Representatives in Texas. and he's been involved with ecological politics in the state of Texas. He co-founded the Interfaith Environmental Alliance and was its executive director till 2010. He was also a member of 2009. He was also a member of the board of Downwinders at Risk, which is clean air advocacy in the North Texas region. He's also an organizer of the Dallas Residents at Risk Coalition, and they actually won their battle to prevent fracking inside Dallas city limits. And so this is a battle that's been won that he wants to continue to expand throughout the North Texas region to protect our health, the health of people in the northern part of Texas. And we also come to another one that I've spoken on quite a bit, Charlotte Pritt, who's running for green governor of West Virginia. She's part of the Mountain Party. She won the Democratic primary in 1996, defeating U.S. Senator Joe Manchin. And she made West Virginia history by becoming the first female in the state to be elected to represent one of the major parties. And so now in 2016, she's been drafted to run as governor. And so she has a voting record that's people-centered. She's also served in the West Virginia legislature. And she's a known ally of all West Virginians and not just an elite few. And so she wants people to stand with her and for her effort at the governorship in Virginia. And I hope she wins. We need a green governor, and of course, we would like to see more female governors too. Dan Mackley is running for Oakland School Board in California. He's progressive. He's also worked as a machinist in the past. He's got a focus on restorative justice and healthy schools. He's worked as a school teacher in Nicaragua, and he's taught English to students in China. So he has a really good world background. And this is what's happening. The Stein and Baraka and the Green Party campaign are also focusing on down ballot candidates. It's a multi-pronged effort, strategy going on. So definitely look for the Green Party Town Hall on Fox Business this evening, September 23rd. And then also look for more media appearances by Jill Stein and Ajumu Baraka and their down ballot candidates closer to the debate. And then also look for Jill Stein to speak via live stream on the night of the debate, which is this coming Monday, September 26th. As Jill Stein says, it's in our hands.